All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome. West Tennessee Dave here, live to you on Twitch. It's 6:33 in the morning on Thursday. Yes, Thursday. Good to see you all. Welcome. Hopefully, we'll have better success than yesterday's stream. Yesterday's stream was a disaster for some unknown reason. But that is what it is. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Good to see you, Shockley. Good to see you, Knox. Good to see you, Asibla. Good to see you, Aaron. Hi, welcome. All right, let's see what we're going to be reading today. Today we're going to be reading Numbers 16 through 20. Yeah, I don't know. The castle killed the stream. It was running fine, I thought, and then it was just too much. The whole thing went into complete chaos last night. But we talked about last time quailing and not complaining. Let me tell you, that was it was a very difficult process last night for me. Asibla did win the castle run. She did. In 12 parsecs. For all you Star Wars fans that we started the texting chain with here. All right, so last time we talked about quailing, and we talked about complaining and how they went hand in hand, and how we don't really need complaining. It's not great for anyone. That said, today we're going to move on from the complaints that they had against Moses, against the people, against the plagues that kind of came out because of that. And they walked the spies in to the promised land. They came back. They saw the good things. And 2 of the men said it was good, we can go. And 10 of them started saying bad things like, it's going to hurt us. And the people, again, went to complaining and going crazy. And so now they have to wander in the desert or in the wilderness for 40 years. Hello there. Hi there. Hi there, Hiles. And so let's see if they're obedient for the next little section after they have been told they can't go into the promised land, but their children will. So here we go. First chapter is actually 15 that we didn't read, but we're going to skip over that. It's some more instructions of different types of offerings. And we're going to skip a little bit of 19. But before I do that, I wanted to say, because Knox was asking about it, Numbers 19 is the chapter that talks about the red heifer. So if you're interested in the red heifer, that's the story, but we're probably going to skip over chapter 19 as well as we get there. So that's it. Oh no, what did I do? Again, it's kind of a law thing, and we're just skipping over things that aren't stories. So here we go. Let's settle in. I'm not drinking coffee. I know that's weird. I'm drinking hot chocolate now. Trying to get off the caffeine, so. All right. Let's lock in. Time for rebellion. One day, Korah, son of Izur, and a descendant of the Kohath, son of Levi, conspired with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, from the tribe of Reuben. They incited a rebellion against Moses, along with 250 other leaders of the community, all prominent members of the assembly. They united against Moses and Aaron and said, "You have gone too far. The whole community of Israel has been set apart by the Lord, and he is with all of us. What right do you have to act as though you are greater than the rest of the Lord's people?" When Moses heard what they were saying, he fell face down on the ground. Then he said to Korah and his followers, "Tomorrow morning, The Lord will show us who belongs to him and who is holy. The Lord will allow only those whom he selects to enter his own presence. Korah, you and all your followers must prepare your incense burners. Light fires in them tomorrow and burn incense before the Lord. Then we will see whom the Lord chooses as his Holy One. You Levites are the ones who have gone too far. Then Moses spoke again to Korah. Now listen, you Levites. Does it seem insignificant to you that the God of Israel has chosen you from among all the community of Israel to be near him, so you can serve in the Lord's tabernacle and stand before the people to minister to them? Korah, he has already given this special ministry to you and your fellow Levites. Are you now demanding the priesthood as well? The Lord is the one you and your followers are really revolting against. For who is Aaron, that you are complaining about him? Then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliam, but they replied, We refuse to come before you. Isn't it enough that you brought us out of Egypt, a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us here in the wilderness, and that you now treat us like your subjects? What's more, you haven't brought us into another land flowing with milk and honey. You haven't given us a new homeland with fields and vineyards. Are you trying to fool these men? We will not come. Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, Do not accept their grain offerings. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, and I have never hurt a single one of them. And Moses said to Korah, You and all your followers must come here tomorrow and present yourselves before the Lord. Aaron will also be here. You and each of your 250 followers must prepare an incense burner and put incense on it, so you can all present them before the Lord. Aaron will also bring his incense burner. So each of these men prepared an incense burner, lit the fire, and placed incense on it. Then they all stood at the entrance of the tabernacle with Moses and Aaron. Meanwhile, Korah had stirred up the entire community against Moses and Aaron, and they all gathered at the tabernacle entrance. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to the whole community, and the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Get away from all these people so that I might instantly destroy them. But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. O God, they pleaded, You are the God who gives breath to all creatures. Must you be angry with all the people when only one man sins? And the Lord said to Moses, Then tell all the people to get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So Moses got up, rushed over to the tents of Dathan and Abiram, followed by the elders of Israel. Quick, he told the people, get away from the tents of these wicked men, and don't touch anything that belongs to them. If you do, you will be destroyed for their sins. So all the people stood back from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the entrances of their tent, together with their wives and children and little ones. And Moses said, This is how you will know that the Lord has sent me to do all these things that I've done, for I have not done them on my own. If these men die a natural death, or if nothing unusual happens, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord does something entirely new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them and all their belongings, and they go down alive into the grave, then you will know that these men have shown contempt for the Lord. He had hardly finished speaking the words when the ground suddenly split open beneath them. The earth opened up its mouth and swallowed the men, along with their households and all their followers who were standing with them, and everything they owned. So they went down alive into the grave, along with all their belongings. The earth closed over them, and they all vanished from among the people of Israel. All the people around them fled when they heard the screams. The earth will swallow us too, they cried. Then fire blazed forth from the Lord and burned up the 250 men who were offering incense. And the Lord said to Moses, Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, to pull all the incense burners from the fire, for they are holy. Also tell him to scatter the burning coals. Take the incense burners of these men who have sinned at the cost of their lives, and hammer the metal into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. Since these burners were used in the Lord's presence, they have become holy. Let them serve as a warning to the people of Israel. So Eleazar the priest collected the 250 bronze incense burners that had been used by the men who died in the fire, and the bronze was hammered into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. This would warn the Israelites that no unauthorized person, no one who was not a descendant of Aaron, should ever enter the Lord's presence to burn incense. If anyone did, the same thing would happen to him as happened to Korah and his followers. So the Lord's instructions to Moses were carried out. But the very next morning, the whole community of Israel began muttering again against Moses and Aaron, saying, "You have killed the Lord's people." As the community gathered to protest against Moses and Aaron, they turned toward the tabernacle and saw the cloud had covered it, and the glorious presence of the Lord appeared. Moses and Aaron came and stood at the front of the tabernacle, and the Lord said to Moses, "Get away from all these people, so that I can instantly destroy them." But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. And Moses said to Aaron, "Quick, take an incense burner, and place burning coals on it from the altar. Lay incense on it, and carry it out among the people to purify them and make them right with the Lord. The Lord's anger is blazing against them. The plague has already begun." Aaron did as Moses told him and ran out among the people. The plague had already begun to strike down the people, but Aaron burned the incense and purified the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague stopped. But 14,700 people died in that plague, in addition to those who had died in the affair involving Korah. Then, because the plague had stopped, Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance of the tabernacle. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people of Israel to bring 12 wooden staffs, one from each leader of Israel's ancestral tribes, and inscribe each leader's name on his staff. Inscribe Aaron's name on the staff of the tribe of Levi, for there must be one staff for the leader of each ancestral tribe. Place these staffs in the tabernacle in front of the ark containing the tablets of the covenant, where I meet with you. Buds will sprout on the staff belonging to the man I choose. Then I will finally put an end to the people's murmuring and complaining against you." So Moses gave the instructions to the people of Israel, and each of the 12 tribal leaders, including Aaron, brought Moses a staff. Moses placed the staffs in the Lord's presence in the tabernacle of the covenant. When he went into the tabernacle of the covenant the next day, he found that Aaron's staff, representing the tribe of Levi, had sprouted, budded, blossomed, and produced ripe almonds. When Moses brought all the staffs out from the Lord's presence, he showed them to the people. Each man claimed his own staff, and the Lord said to Moses, "Place Aaron's staff permanently before the Ark of the Covenant to serve as a warning to the rebels. This should put an end to their complaints against me and prevent any further deaths." So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. Then the people of Israel said to Moses, "Look, we are doomed, we are dead, we are ruined. Everyone who even comes close to the tabernacle of the Lord dies. Are we all doomed to die?" All right, so then God gives some special commands for Aaron. And then he's going to talk about the water purification in Numbers 19 and the red heifer and what that means. And now we're going to get into another story here. I appreciate it, Knox. In the first month of the year, the whole community of Israel arrived in the wilderness of Zin and camped at Kadesh. While they were there, Miriam died and was buried. There was no water for the people to drink at that place, so they rebelled against Moses and Aaron. The people blamed Moses and said, "If only we had died in the Lord's presence with our brothers. Why have you brought the congregation of the Lord's people into the wilderness to die along with all our livestock? Why did you make us leave Egypt and bring us here to this terrible place? This land has no grain, no figs, no grapes, no pomegranates, and no water to drink." Moses and Aaron turned away from the people and went to the entrance of the tabernacle, where they fell face down on the ground. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to them, and the Lord said to Moses, "You and Aaron must take the staff and assemble the entire community. As the people watch, speak to the rock over there, and it will pour out its water. You will provide enough water for the rock to satisfy the whole community and their livestock." So Moses did as he was told. He took the staff from the place where it was kept before the Lord. Then he and Aaron summoned the people to come and gather at the rock. "Listen, you rebels," he shouted. "Must we bring you water from this rock?" Then Moses raised his hand and struck the rock twice with the staff, and water gushed out. So the entire community and their livestock drank their fill. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Because you did not trust me enough to demonstrate my holiness to the people of Israel, you will not lead them into the land I am giving them." This place was known as the waters of Meribah, which means arguing, because there the people of Israel argued with the Lord, and there he demonstrated his holiness among them. While Moses was at Kadesh, he sent ambassadors to the king of Edom with this message. "This is what your relatives, the people of Israel, say. You know all the hardships we have been through. Our ancestors went down to Egypt, and we lived there a long time. And we and our ancestors were brutally mistreated by the Egyptians. But when we cried out to the Lord, he heard us and sent an angel who brought us out of Egypt. Now we are camped at Kadesh, a town on the border of your land. Please let us travel through your land. We will be careful not to go through your fields and vineyards. We won't even drink water from your wells. We will stay on the king's road and never leave it until we have passed through your territory." But the king of Edom said, "Stay out of my land, or I will meet you with an army." The Israelites answered, "We will stay on the main road. If our livestock drink from your water, we will pay for it. Just let us pass through your country. That's all we ask." But the king of Edom replied, "Stay out. You may not pass through our land." With that, he mobilized his army and marched out against them with an imposing force. Because Edom refused to allow Israel to pass through the country, Israel was forced to turn around. The whole community of Israel left Kadesh and arrived at Mount Hor. There, on the border of the land of Edom, the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "The time has come for Aaron to join his ancestors in death. He will not enter the land I am giving to the people of Israel, because the two of you rebelled against my instructions concerning the water at Meribah. Now take Aaron and his son Eleazar up Mount Hor. There you will remove Aaron's priestly garments and put them on Eleazar his son. Aaron will die there and join his ancestors." So Moses did as the Lord commanded. The three of them went up Mount Hor together, as the whole community watched. At the summit, Moses removed the priestly garments from Aaron and put them on Eleazar, Aaron's son. Then Aaron died there on top of the mountain, and Moses and Eleazar went back down. When the people realized that Aaron had died, all Israel mourned for him for 30 days. All right, that's where we're going to finish today. All right, so we have some rebellions. We have more complaining. We haven't learned our lesson. It's just like over and over and over again. We have to go through the same trials. Why? Why do we go through the same trials? Sometimes it's painful to watch somebody else's story. But then when we look at the mirror of our own story and we see that we go through the same trials over and over again and we complain, we see we're not much different than these people. We see we're very similar. Can we finish reading with a 10-minute segment on a Psalm Proverb subject? Not right now. Again, those aren't stories. I'm reading stories this year. We will probably read some of that in some future parts, but we're reading stories. Psalms, Proverbs, they're not stories. They're prayers. They're wonderful. They're prayers. They're heart cries. Yeah, you can do your own readings. No problem. So here we are. We're in the middle of the desert. And I mean, sometimes I have compassion for these people. Like, I get it. I get this complaining back and forth, if you will. they're not going to the promised land now. They have to wait 40 years till they basically all die, and they still have flocks and herds and families to take care of, and there's no water. Like, people need water to live. It is like one of the most imperative things of life is to drink water. And there's none around. Like, the Lord has led them to an area to camp that has no water around. And so I understand the complaining. I understand why they're like, why do you bring us out of here? Like, we need water. Don't you get it? There was water in Egypt. There was water in other places, but here, this is where we're going to camp. From a natural perspective, it makes no sense. So, what is God trying to do? He's trying to teach them that with him all things are possible. Because they didn't get it from the 10 plagues on Egypt, the miracle of the Red Sea, the manna every day. They're not getting it. Maybe they're coming accustomed to the manna and they don't think it's a miracle every day. They forget so easily. And so do we. We forget so easily. The miracles of the gift of life we have, the bountiful blessings that we have, we forget. And then we still just look at the problems and start complaining. Oh gosh, Lord help us. Lord help us. And be merciful to us. Man, it feels like there is not much mercy being offered to these people. We see plagues happening. We see the ground swallowing up those who want to rebel and become the leaders. God gets to anoint who he wants to be leaders. God gets to appoint them for times and seasons to do different things. And we're appointed for times and seasons too. Like, the next highest level in their religious status here, the Korahites. So these are the people that rebelled at the beginning. They're not the priests, but they basically are in charge of all of the tabernacle. They have some special duties they've been given, and they're just not happy with it. They're not happy with their lot. Ooh, how much does that hit home? Not happy with your lot in life. If you can't find just contentment in your lot in life, I promise you won't find it getting something new either. That's buried inside of you. That's a mental issue, a spiritual issue. You're gonna have to wrestle out. You have to wrestle that out of you to find contentment. Your life might not be perfect. These people's lives are not perfect. My life is not perfect. We'll have to find contentment in the lot that we've been given. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm gonna have to think about the places I'm complaining and quit doing it. Quit doing it. You have to quit complaining. Quit not being happy. I don't need to be done. You're right. I don't have to be done, but we do a segment. We do a segment of scripture for the day. You know, we ended the day on a sad note. Both Aaron and his sister Miriam have passed away. So now we just have Moses left from his family. He doesn't have the same people helping him anymore. Aaron has been helping him for a long time with the people. So now he's going to have to rely on the next generation of Eleazar. I don't know if they have the same relationship. Will I send some of that miracle holy water? I mean, that water must have been great, right? But it wasn't done in a way that was holy either. Ooh, that is tough. It is tough to hear. Moses did bring them water, but he was so angry about it. Does your anger bring about the right thing? Moses's didn't. He was so angry at the people. He was so angry at the people for how they were treating him, how they're treating Aaron, how they're treating God, with just their complaining, their grumbling, their constant yelling about going back to Egypt. I mean, if you help lead somebody out of slavery of Egypt and then they just kept complaining about going back, how would you feel? Oh, man, that's gonna if you help somebody with an addiction for a season and they got free and then they're like, let's just go back to our addiction later. How are you going to feel about all that effort you did? If you help somebody get financially sound and stop degenning or whatever, and then all of a sudden they just blew it all again, they went back to their same ways, like, it's just gonna feel ugly. It's not gonna make you. I don't know. Maybe you're a better person than I am, but I understand. Moses though was so humble. He kept falling face down on the ground. He didn't just like, I give up. I walk away from this mess. You deal with them, God. I'm tired. I'm done with it. Um, he just kept crying out for them. He fell face down. He pleaded for the Lord over and over and over again. He never gave up. He only sometimes started to give up when he cried out personally to God. He was heartfelt, honest with God. He's like, I didn't birth these people. You keep telling me to do these things. But fine, I do what you want because I trust you. So look at ourselves, right? Do we give people enough chance? Yeah, we might not have we have save someone, yes. You give time to save someone. I get it. Um, we give what we have, right? And we give what we have in abundance typically. So you might have time in abundance versus money in abundance. The real question, though, is not what you give out of abundance, it's what you give that's according to what God wants for that person. And you give it to them. God's probably not going to call you to give a large sum of money to somebody if you don't have. He knows. He knows what you have. He's aware. Well, we have to be open to any of it. We have to be open to the possibility of anything. Dave us save. No, I don't save. God saves. The Lord saves you. I I am a mouthpiece right now. Did I create a new meme? Oh, probably. This is how memes are created. So, all right. Do you have any thoughts, any personal applications to this story, to your own life that you want to share? I'm gonna sip the last dregs of my hot chocolate while we wait. Hmm. Yeah, I'm glad, Hiles. Um, you're afraid of the day your parents are no longer here. Why is that? Why is that, Knox? Speak more to that. You're best friends with your parents? Yeah, I mean, we've just gone through the first. You and your son can go now. Hi, big boy. All right, go on out. Shut the door. Yeah, shut it. Shut the door, please. Isaac, shut it. Anyways, morning shock. Um, yeah, we've just gone. Morning, Soda Champ. Good morning. We just gone through the loss of my mother-in-law. That's the first parent my either my wife or I have lost, and um, it is it is a hard thing. It's a hard thing to lose a parent. Um, my wife and I were sitting on the porch swing yesterday and just talking about it, and it's the first time like she was home and going to this. She was driving somewhere to pick up, I think, something. She doesn't normally go to the store. I do, but she was driving yesterday for something and going into town, and like this is a time that she would normally call her mom, and she tried to pick up the phone to call her, and it's just like you can't. And that's hard. That's a hard journey. It's a hard journey to lose. It's a hard journey to lose, like you said, your friends, but parents hopefully become friends as we get older. They're still your parents. It's a unique relationship, of course. Um, yeah, I mean, don't miss the opportunities you have to spend with them. That's what I would say. We tried in a number of ways and throughout the years to spend time with them. You can't force somebody to spend time with you if they don't want to. And my in-laws, they kind of didn't really want to spend a lot of time with us most of the time, which is kind of sad. Um, they're very individual people. They kind of don't really love kids that much. Um, so you can only do what both parties are willing to do. I can't force myself to. We can't force our presence on them because we wouldn't be honoring them. Or he says, honor your mother and father in Scripture. It's part of one of the 10 Commandments. Honor your father and mother so you may live long in the land. Yeah, I mean, if what you're doing is just drinking away your life or separating yourself because of your own choices, like let's find new choices that help us restore relationships and do things. Uh, that's not easy. I get it. It's not easy. I mean, Shockley just said, right? He lost both his parents in 3 months. Like, that's tough. We never know when the time comes for somebody's departure from from this from this life. And so, you know, your parents are going to love you most of the time. Your parents generally love you, and they I think most parents, if they have some decency in them, want relationship with their children. So don't let your own fears of who you are scare you from reaching out. Now, if they've put boundaries up, well, you got to do the things to get those back. You have to do them, right? I mean, that's tough. That's tough love. That's tough love and tough lesson. That's great. I mean, yeah, we want to honor our parents even after they're gone, right? I think that's a noble thing as well. So well done on you, Shockley. Um, so thank you for the heartfelt invitation there, Knox. I know that's tough. Oh, it's tough. Life has tough moments, and we have to navigate those to the best of our ability. And we could be introspective later on and say, I messed up there. Okay, if we mess up, like, the good news, we haven't gotten to this parts of the story of the Bible yet, but there is hope for forgiveness and reconciliation. I know it doesn't seem like that right now in the storyline that we're reading. But there is hope. There is hope. And we're going to get there. All right, that said, we're going to end the story time for today. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I've been thinking about maybe skipping way ahead for a little bit pretty soon. Easter is coming up in like 2 weeks. 2 weeks and a little bit, and I don't know if you guys want me to read some of the stories that revolve around Easter and what that really looks like. But, we don't have to just read it always sequentially. We're about reading the stories, and maybe it'd be good to just interject that for a few readings, so that we're kind of knowing what's in store. And we'll just jump back into this when we get just a little glimpse of it. It's hard though, because you might not get the whole backstory, so I don't know if that's what we want. Sometimes it's good to just continue the storyline more historically. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that. I'm just letting you know. I'll let you know when I decide or what I feel like the Lord gives an opening to on that. Thanks for the stretch. I do need it. I got to do my stretches today. Work on this nerve pain in my hand. So thank you. Thank you all for being here. Have a good day. Thank you. I love you all. Let's keep working on this same lesson. Let's not start rebellions in the group we're in. Let's not just be complainers. But let's settle into our lot in life right now with a looking forward with a hope, right? We talked about that kind of briefly. Rebellions are built on hope. But the other side is let's look to the hope that we have. The hope we have in what God wants to do with us. And hold on to that. Because that's the journey he's taking us on. And that should be hope-filled, even if it looks kind of ugly for a season. Because the truth of what we really want, and Knox kind of said it a little bit. He didn't have money. He has maybe some time in abundance. But what we want in abundance is presence with those we love. And that's time spent with those we love. No amount of money can substitute for the time we have with loved ones. Now, money sometimes can help. But we want time with the loved ones, and we should love the time we spend with the Lord just as well, because he should be a loved one to us. And he's one that never dies, so, which is a great thing. All right, so I spun what Knox said into something beautiful there. I hope that finishes us off well. Have a great day. Love you all, and I will see you again soon.